Welcome everyone. May I audible to you?
Yes, sir. Very good
Yes,
evening,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, all of you. And let's continue the session. Yesterday we were doing some apply function, and AL apply I explained you. And there is one more function that is called a T apply. And the T apply, there are three arguments in default. One is the continuous variable. Second is a categorical variable, and third one is the function, whatever you want. In the empty cars, we know that there are cylinders 4, 6, and 8 cylinder we have. And we have a, suppose I put here mileage, MPG, and mileage is a continuous variable. And I want to find out the mean of mileage of 4-cylinder car and 6-cylinder car and 8-cylinder car separately. I could find out the mean of the mileage through the mean formula, but I want all the categories separately. I want to find the mean of all the category. So I will apply the T apply function. The first argument is continuous variable, second argument is a categorical variable, and the third one is the function. So let me show you this. So this is the mean of 4-cylinder vehicle, which is higher, 26.66 miles per gallon. And mean of 6-cylinder vehicle, that is 19.74 miles per gallon. And 8-cylinder vehicle have a mileage of 15.10 miles per gallon. So in this way, we could find out the functions,
Sir,
whatever the, yes.
yes, sir. This is sir. This got it, sir. If you want to labeling these labels of the factor, means four cylinder, label name as four cylinder,
Hmm.
six as six cylinder, eight as eight cylinder. And how can we proceed in this formula or any other use of function? Means label naming of labels. Four as four cylinder. We
Hmm.
got an output in the form.
No, then you have to convert that in a data frame. You give the name and then
Okay.
you use it.
Can we not map from here?
You
Means
could
if
that is in a plot we can do that thing, but here we have to see the T apply. We have that label or not. No. Here that is not possible. So because this is a function instead of for loop, we are using it. And first you give the label in the data frame, then whatever the name you want to give, and then you could apply here. Okay. Then after this, mm, this we have done. Now I'll tell you more function about the this some other functions of the dplyr, like the filter, select, arrange, mutate, and summarize. And we are use the library dplyr, and we are using the hflights dataset. We install first this library and we get this dataset. I will show you that dataset. This is the dataset here is given. It is a 2011 data of a month is given, day of month is given, day of week is given, departure time of the plane, and air time, and unique carrier, flight number, tail number, actual elapsed time, air time, arrival delay, departure delay, origin, destination, distance, taxi in, taxi out, cancelled, cancellation code, and diverted. This is given. Wherever the cancellation code is 1, then we will get the cancellation code, because this flight has not been cancelled, so we will not get any code. So this is not a, yesterday I asked you, this is not a any, this is the null. Got it? Somebody yesterday asked
Yes, sir.
me
Yes, sir.
what is
I
null.
asked.
So you got Akshay. This is
Yes.
null is this one. Okay, it is not any. And so if that value where we have 1, you see here is 1. So we are getting B is a cancellation code. So whenever there is 1, there is taxi out is not there, taxi in not there, because the flight was not there. Okay, it has been diverted, cancelled. Sorry. So these are the NAs is given, but it should be null instead of NA, as here it is null. Okay. So these are the NAs they have given. So this is our data, and I convert these in tibble. Tibble is just a, we want the output direct in the console, but a few observations, limited observation, 10 observations, and few columns. And if I use the data frame direct, then I have to use the head again and again when I want to print this in my console. So I will use the tibble. I will show the tibble to you. So this is my tibble. It is basically a data frame itself. And you see it is a tibble having the 2,27,496 rows, and 21 columns are there. And the few columns it has mentioned in the 10 observations, other it is writing there. These columns remains and these more rows are there. So it is easy to work. We use it. We use both approach, basic R approach and dplyr approach here. So I am using the basic R approach. So first I am using the 1st January data I want. How many flights came on the Austin year? So day of month is a flight dollar month equal to 1. It is the January. And I will write here end. And flights dollar day of month is 1. So day of month is the first day, and it is the 1st January basically. So it will the intersection of this, and this will be the 1st January. And then I am putting the comma, and I want all the columns. On the rows, I want only the 1st January. And I will run it, and I will show you this. And you will see we are getting 552 observations and 21 variables. So there are 552 flights on the 1st January arrived at Houston Airport. So this is a way basic with R. When we apply the filter function of dplyr, this is the function of dplyr, we just put the flights, the data name, and then the column month equal to 1 and the day equal to 1 with comma only. And we run it. And I will show you, this will give you the same output. Sorry. Okay. So in this way, we could filter. We are filtering the rows. Okay. We want to filter the day of month in the, we are filtering the month and the day of month both, but we are using the pipe to function. Here we could also use the pipe to function. So it is the, just like a union or. So first month means the 31st day of the January, all 31 day of the January. And day of month, first day of every month for all 12 months. 1st January, 1st February in this way. So we will get 31 plus 11, 42 observations. On the 42 days data we will get. So we will get the more data than that. There is, we have got in a one day 52 flights were there. So now in 42 days, how many we will see. And this is the dplyr function I am using here, filter. And look at this, we are getting 25,769 flights. Okay. Now I will show you the unique carrier. Unique carrier like a class of flight. The type of flight, which sort of flight is that, what facilities are there. There are various, some may be cargo and some may be high level flights, and some may be the, like the flights are having low fare. So having the different way, unique carrier. So what I am going to do, I want to unique carrier, I want A and the UA both. It is from the single column. So I could use the OR. If I use the intersection, I will not get, because the flight which is A category is not a UA category. So I will get the 0 flight if I use the AND. Here I use the pipe, which is for OR. So I'm getting 5,316 flights. Some of them are A and some are UA. I could use more than this. These two I am using in this way, but if I have the more than, then I will apply the percent operator. So this operator I will use in the vector. I will write whatever the classes I required there, categories I required. So I will run it and you will see. This is my output, 21,377 for the A, UA and O. Okay.
Sir, if I only two columns and part of two columns, not whole two columns, only part of two columns, by filtering, how can we extract it? Means I want to call a month and date, but what month? January month and first, not all the columns or some columns or only these two columns.
Then we will take the select. We select the column. I will tell you later on that it will come. The select is here. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I am just coming on that. So base our approach to select the departure time, arrival time in the flight number columns only. Okay. So in the base R approach, we in the square bracket first we put the comma, which will allow us the all rows, and then in the after comma we will put in a vector whatever column we require. You see, got it? So we have selected those columns only.
Yes, sir.
We have the dplyr approach. The function is select and the data name, then the column names with comma, and we get the same output. Okay. We have another way to do this. We select flights. We will select the column continuous. Some columns we want year to day of month. We have a column year and we have a column day of month, and in between all columns we require. So that
So
we use the yes.
can we use filter function in the select function?
Yes, yes. Here you see. Everything I will explain here. Don't worry. So here we are continuously selecting few columns. Then we select some columns where contain the taxi. We have the two columns with taxi in and taxi out. So I don't want to write again and again the taxi in, then taxi out. I just write the contains taxi, the column which has the name contains taxi. I want to select those columns. I want to select those columns which contains delay, arrival delay and the departure delay. So I will select this. Look at this. Got it? Yes. Now we are nesting the function.
Sir, here, what this year column sign? So what column sign refers to us?
Here,
select flight, year, then column. Double.
the column will give us the which are the columns in between the year and day of month. It will take that also. If there are 5 columns in between, it will select the 5 columns.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. There is only one column in between month, year, month, and day of month. So we have selected year to day of month. So month, day of month. So it will, month will automatically inside between them. So it will come along with that. Okay.
And contains
with the column name contains the taxi. So it will get the taxi in the taxi out both. Whatever the column name
means look like pattern,
pattern. Like a delay, you see, we have the 2 delay. 11, 12. So we could select column in this way also. This is the shortcut technique. Either we could write the name of the column or we could use this technique. Now we see the nesting. So nesting method, so select unique carrier and departure delay column. We are selecting 2 columns. These 2 columns, unique carrier and departure delay and flights data. And then we filter for delays over 60 minutes. Departure delay over 60 minutes. So I will show you this. Got it?
Yes, sir.
This is the nesting. We are using the 2 or more functions altogether. There is another method that is called a dplyr. Sorry, method is called the chaining method. That is a dplyr function. We use the pipe to infix here. And the flights, and then we are using this. Then we are selecting the column and then we are filtering it. So it is the better way out of this. Here you may confuse. We have to select first or we have to filter first. Somebody may get confusion over there, but here there is no confusion. First we select the column, then we filter from. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So
we also filter first, then select the column.
Now, if you do, then it will take more time. The process time will increase. So when you filter first, then it will process for all the column.
Sir, from which function we can see executed time? Means if I write this thing, if I want to compute the
There is a system time function we use sometimes, where we approach some uh, a big algorithm, we count the time. Okay, that we have. I will show you that. I think this system dot time we use. Got it?
okay, sir.
I will show you this. I am making a loop here. I'm making. I will just run it. We will not go in deep this. X. Time is running. You see, there is a red hexagonal. This you are getting. The loop is running here.
Okay. It is taking too much time.
Yeah, this is this technique we explain in our the regular course which we run. How to
R,
vectorize the function and
R,
how we could reduce the time of making the log this all algorithm, how we could change the things. You see here the user time, system time, elapsed time. Got it? System has taken 16.47 second. Got it? Now I will
yes,
reduce
sir.
this time. Look at this. I will reduce this time. You see what is the time now?
6 second, 0 second, 6.5759 second.
These are the few techniques we apply there. There is or we could reduce the time. But what happened? I run in this way. I have not run it completely. I will run again. Then you could see is better way. Na? It will take little time because we have already done something. So there is already that column in that data frame where we have added it. Now I run it. You will see the difference now, proper difference. We have to run that data frame again. The first time it was 16 point some second. Now it is 0.02 second. Got it? Now you see here, we have a different. So we do it later on. So these are the technique, what technique and how we change this coding and these all thing we explain over there. So that is the time measurement. So again we come on our this function. what you are doing?
Select filter.
Select filter.
5.
This is not that. It is here. We were there. Okay. So this we have done. We do it and we get this thing. As you know that the same output we get. Like now the R base approach to select unique carrier and departure delay column sort by departure delay. Now we are sorting by the departure delay. Okay, here we have just departure delay less than 16. Now here we are taking the departure delay. We are not making the filter. We are not using the filter, but we are sorting it. So you see the flights here we will write the order. In the R base approach, the flights dollar departure delay should be in order. And we are selecting the 2 column. So you will see this. So it is the too early, flight came too early. So this is the as per the minus negatives for the too early. The flight came 33 minutes before, 23 minutes before. So it is not departure delay, it is the early flights. And the later you will see the departure delay. Same we could use for the dplyr, the select first, then arrange departure delay. So you are getting, or if we write the descending, I will tell you that thing. The
Sir,
descending.
can we sort 2 columns simultaneously? If I have one column character and second one is integer, so then it will first sort with letters, means character wise, then per character it uh, sort the second integer column. Means here we are sorting one column individually, right? And if I want 2 column sorting of 2 columns simultaneously.
We could do that. We could do that. We could do that also, no problem. Okay, just like in Excel we do the filtering, na? Same thing we
Yes,
could do
sir.
here. Same thing we could do here. Then we have some more thing what I want to explain that. This is the arrange. And there is a descending function. If it is the ascending, because the it is came in the prior, now we could use the descending function. SC, I think that this should be the function over there, descending. I just try this. I forget that particular what we use. There somewhere we use the decreasing, somewhere we use the descending. So here the descending will apply. So it is the departure delay 981 minute and is the 970 minute. So it is now the decreasing order. Got it?
Yes, sir. Sir, can we sort in other way apart from ascending or descending? If I want unit place even numbers unit place, and then odd number unit, this type of sorting,
Then
custom sorting.
you could use your own logic there. We have the so many sequence function and the other function you could involve here. And you could do so many things. It's a programming language. There is no limitation. You could use your own logic and you could apply the function and run it and debug whatever the bug you are getting, whatever the error you are getting, debug it. Okay.
Means I want to know from where we should start. Okay, because I don't know all these functions, right? So, but I want to that my interested task which I want to do. So from where should I start? So one way is I have to search on Google, right? But if I am not want to search Google and just do on, then
You have
which
to first learn
approach
this, then
should I take?
first you have to be do some practice with this, and then you could apply, then you understand, you could apply the thing. Okay, it will not a one shot you could do this and this and this. You have to use the logic over there, You have to search on the Google also. You have to Google it and you could get some idea from there. And then you could make that thing. Okay. The complex operation, if you want, then you have to do more work on that. Okay. Here we see the bias R approach to create a new variable in that data frame, that is the speed in the mile per hour. So you know that the speed formula is equal to distance over time. So that is the flight dollar speed. It is a new column. Flight dollar distance column is already there. Air time column is already there. And we are converting minute in hours. So we will divide by the denominator by 60 and it will go in the numerator because it is the denominator of denominator. So it will multiply in the numerator. So we get this new column. And I will show you that column here. This the speed is a new column. So we could create a new column also in this way in a R-based approach or a dplyr approach. Whenever we create a new column with the help of old one, then we use a mutate function. First we select the two column distance and air time, then we mutate the speed is equal to distance over air time and into 60. This is the dplyr approach. It is the very easy to do it. Then I have given here name, only the object name I have given. The function is same. Okay. So dplyr approach create a table grouped by destination. Now we see the group by function. We have seen the filter function. We have seen the select function. We have seen the mutate function. Now we see the group by function. So we are doing the group by destination and summarize it. Then after group by, you have to summarize it. You want the sum, you want the whatever you want. So we summarize the average delay. That is the mean of the arrival delay. Na.rm is equal to true because there may be some missing values. So I'm using it. So look at this. We are getting this the average delay in the each destination. It is given. So we could get in this way. And each day of the year, count the total number of flights and sort in descending order. So we group by the two column, month and the day of month. So it will mention as the each day there would be 365 observation because 2011 is not a leap year. And the summarize the flight count. So we use this function n. And then we arrange in descending order the flight underscore count. Look at this. So it is descending order. If you write the simple way, then it will be like the month wise it would be. We could use the tally function. Tally function will remove these two syntax. And I will just give it to you. You see, sort is true. That is the way. If you remove this sort true, you will get these all things. The first, second, and the second day, third day in this way. And for each destination, count the total number of flights and number of distinct planes and that flew there. So we are grouped by destination, summarize the flight count and the plane count. Plane count, we are using the n underscore distinct tail number. This is a function here. So this we are getting the flight count ABQ total flight came here 2812 from this place. And plane count this much. In this way it is giving me. Now for each destination, show the number of cancelled and non-cancelled flights. So we are grouped by destination and select the cancelled. And then because if you select the cancelled, then we have to make a table how many are cancelled and how many are not cancelled. And I am taking the head because the so many destinations are there. So I will get only 6 observations. You see, these are not cancelled and these are cancelled. Okay, these are destinations. You could see in this way. And now for each month, calculate the number of flights and change from the previous month. So it is the change from the previous month. So group by month and the summarized flight count and the muted change. Change is a new column. Flight count minus leg of flight. Leg means it will reduce the previous observation leg. So I will show you this. You could better understand. You see here, there is a change. I am not getting any leg before that. There is no any observation before that. So I will get the NA. Here the 17128 will the 18910 will subtract from this, and I will get this changes, and the previous it will subtract and it will give us the change. So that is the leg we are using for. Got it? So leg function is very, very important when we want the subsequent changes. So we have the rewrite or a simple way with the tally function, also the same thing. So tally we sometimes use. So that is the same output we'll get here. Okay. Now I will tell you some more thing which is related to tidier library. I am making one data frame that is a messy. Welbur, Petunia, Georgiari, and A and the B2 are the medicines AB. And after that, we are measuring the heart rate, giving this medicine. And I will show you this messy data. It's like this: name of the patient and the medicine. And after that medicine, we are checking the heart rate. And I'm using the deep tidier library for this. And no, there would be the inferential analysis. We will cover Jishan there. Okay. Modeling will be the R3. In the R3, we will start the modeling. So what we are gathering it. So gathering, I will show you. There is a no column name drug. So the drug I am taking heart rate and A is to B. AB. So the drug and AB are the same thing. The drug, there the A and B will become under the drug, and the heart rate, these values would be the heart rate, the new column. So I will just show you. You see how we gather the data. So I just show you this machine. Get it? The previous and this. So this is the transformation of the data. You see the syntax of both and try to understand what we have done over there. In the gather, we write the new column where we want that this column under which we want to write. So in the drug, we want to write A and B. And these values will goes to the new column name. That is the what is this value. We know that it is a heart rate, but we have not mentioned here the heart rate. So we have created new column, that is the heart rate. What? Okay. So this is the gather. We are gathering the thing. And then we have a something we are gathering, we could spread it also. You are gathering something, you could spread. So here we are spreading it again. The drug we are spreading with heart rate. So I will do it, and I will show you this again. Look at this. I again got the same format. Okay. Okay. Again, I am making another data frame. I will show you that data frame, what is there. These are the treatment. These are the place, work and home. This is the time, T1 and shift, T1, T2. Okay. First shift, second shift. And I am using it. I am first, here also I am gathering and spread it. So I am gathering here. Key is a new column. And in key, I will get this all. Work T1, home T1, work T2, home T2. But I don't want to do anything with the ID and the treatment. It should be same. So I'm making the negative there. Minus ID and minus TRT. It should not be gathered like that. We are gathering only these columns. What column you want to gather, you write that column. The key, we are taking this column automatically because we have dropped this column which we don't want to gather. It will be mentioned there in the data frame. It will remain in the data frame. It will be not included in the gathering. Okay. Time is what? These values are the time. This will be in the time. So I will show you this, and you look at this. Look at the difference in both. So it is the same, the column ID and the treatment. It is repeating again 1, 2, 3, 4, and the whatever. And the key you see the work T1, work T2, T3, and the home T1, home T2. This and the time of this is here. So this is the gather I have again used here for this data set. Then I spread it, and I will show you. Again, we have got the same thing. Okay, so this is the spread and gather. Now, I again do that gather, and I will mention you that thing. This is the gather. And this gather, I want to separate the key column, work and shift. So I am separating key into location and shift. Location is the home and work. Or there is it is separated by the dot. Dot is the separator here. So for single dot, you could not write. So you have to use the double slash if you want to separate by the dot. So if I run this, you see there the location and shift and the time. So we have separated it. Separate will be, it will divide a column into column. Okay, that is the, but we require some separator over there. We could unite it also again. So I am uniting the key, the location and shift I am going to unite, and I want the separator. If you want the dot, you could write dot. If you want the hyphen, you could write the hyphen. If you want the slash, you could write the slash. So I am writing that again, and I will show you this one. Look at this. It is again the same. It was there. So this you got, and now I will tell you something about the this library Lubri date, and whenever we have a date and these all things, how what is the default format of date? So that is the default format of date is first we use the year, then month, then day, then hour, minute, and second. The largest unit we write first, then is smaller, then is smaller, then is smaller, like that way. So suppose you have a this sort in the one string you have written the 2011-604. We know that this is the year, this is a month, and this is a day. So we will write this sequence here, year, month, day, and I run it. You will see the output because I have not run this Lubri date. First, I have to run the Lubri date, then I could apply that. You see, I will get this the default format in R. You have the month is year, then day, then years. So whatever the format is here, you have to write outside that, and it automatically convert in this format. That is the 2006-4. It may be like this also. You may also convert this in this format. So always you will get the default format, but you write before that format whatever you have currently. Got it? Thanks, Ronel. Thanks. And some more thing I would like to explain from here, the important one. Okay. Here you see, I am writing a meeting YMD underscore HMS. This is the format here that I am writing outside. Time zone, it is the Pacific Auckland. And if I show you this meeting, you will see I am getting this. And I want someone has written this time in my mail, and I want to see what it is. So I could use this function with TG meeting Asia Calcutta. So Indian time I will get here of this. So I'm getting the Indian time is 2:30 IST. Okay. It is a 24-hour timing. One more important thing, you know that the 2011 is leap year or not. So we know that it is not a leap year. So we get the false. But in the leap year, in the 1st January, I am taking 2011 YMD and I am adding the day years 1 year's day years 1. So you see what I will output I will get. I will get the 1 January 2012 after 1 year, after 365 days. If I just put the years 1, then also I will get the same thing 1st January 2012 for the non-leap year. But if it is a leap year, 2012 is a leap year and I do the day year, so it will take me 365 days beyond. So I will get the 31st December 2011, 2013. Sorry, it is the 12. So the beyond that 2000, 31st December 2012 I will get here because I will reach beyond of 365 days, and the leap year is the 366 days. So I will get there. Show you this.
Sir, I want a column which contains date from say 1 April to 15 July.
1 April
to 15 July of 2012.
column.
Yes, sir. How can we create it?
Yes, yes, I will tell you later. Here you see one more thing. Mm. When I write the year instead of day years, you see what is the difference in this. Look at this. We are getting 1st January 2013. Over here we were getting 31st December 2012. So if you use the years one, then you will get this thing. Okay. We could separate it. We have a function separate. I have explained you earlier. After making this column, you could separate it. There are a few more things. The past that time, 112 January, and this I am giving here. There is not much compulsory here. Um, we have a different time format for the same. We have one this format and this format and this format. Past that time and YMD and in this way, in this way. So I just run this. You would see it better way. You also search on internet something about the lubricate uh, package. You will get so many things over there. Sometimes we have a heterogeneous format like this, and this. So at that moment, we could pass that time in this format, and we are going to convert in our default format. So you will see we get all in the same format. So this you do little bit practice, then you could do it. And one was that want to make time. Hmm. No need to this nan argument. You could not get like this. Getting that. Open 15 340 15. What is it?
Now we can take, sir, another variable and make it now then we will use ymdx.
Yeah, what I could not understand what you are telling. Yes. Yes, yes. Akshay, what you are telling?
I am saying we will create new variable y with name y, and then it equal to ymd function of x.
We try this, but I think that will not work. It will not work. We could take the range of that. Don't worry. We could take it. You could see there's so many things we could create.
S dot date.
This we could do in this way. Okay. The sequence function we could use.
Okay, sir.
Sequence function they are using, but they are using some other library, not this one. This is also we use sometimes, and this is also good. The Fox. I use this 2-3 times somewhere. There also the sequence function is compulsory always by day, and this is the X I have created. The time zone, whatever you want, and then you format it the whatever the length you want, you could give. There are many ways. Sequence s dot dat, comma s dot dat, this and this. This is the simplest way. This is the simplest way. And date 1 and date 2, and we could use the loop also. And there are so many ways to do this thing. You could apply anyone, whatever you want as per your requirement. And this we could apply the 1st January to 10th January. We are getting 1st January to 10th, so 10 entries we are getting here s dot date in the sequence. So we could date it, we do that here and try to run whether it is working or not. The sequence we required. No? We could take 31st. Why it is so? Hmm? I try where we are getting, why we are getting that. It is incomplete.
So,
It's okay. It is an incomplete command, basically. I understand what is their problem. Correct. Got it. This is a easy way. The s dot dat you use this function, or you could use the parse also. That one. This I have used previous. I showed this, but it's very little bit complicated. This is the simplest one sequences. Here we could use the time zone also. Here we could not use the time zone. We are not unable to use the time zone in a sequence. Here we first making the as per the time zone we are making. Here I think maybe the option of the time zone. I don't know. In the s dot dat. It is the R base function. S dot dat is a, and a time zone we could put the time zone also. No problem. We could put the time zone. So you could see in the syntax and you could find it out how we could do that. Because I have done this all thing in the Python. Python, there is a different approach we use for making this sort of column. I have not done this in the R, because R we get all the things ready when we do the analysis. We get the Excel file in this file, receipt from the person, and we do on that. But in Python, we create some data and then we work on that. So machine learning part. So is there any other doubt someone has? Yes.
Sir, good evening, sir. Rupavati here.
Yes.
Sir, I just wanted to know, is it possible to use our census data given by Government of India to do analysis regarding population with disability?
Yes, we could use that. We could use that. No problem.
But when I tried to extract the details, but then they are in PDF format. I'm not able to get anything in .csv.
Hmm.
So I have, here I'm struck how to convert it.
There
Whatever
are
that,
few.
yes,
There,
sir.
there are few tools online. We could take the tools. The some are the paid, some are the free.
Okay,
Where
sir.
we could convert this PDF in a CSV format.
Okay, okay, sir.
Because
Okay,
the
then I'll Google it.
census data
Uh,
and the election board data they provide in a PDF format.
yes,
Intentionally
sir.
provide in a PDF format. And there may be some API for that CSV format, I think, for the census department.
Okay, okay.
If you get the API, we could take the data from API here in R. We could read that data.
Okay, sir. Tomorrow I'll try to extract it,
Huh.
or else I'll come back to you.
You see that if there is some API,
Okay.
it may be the JSON file also. We could read here in R.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll try it again. Yes, sir. I'll come
If
back.
there is JSON file or the CSV, whatever you get instead of the PDF. PDF is basically a printed uh, document format. So there is some AB Finder is there, one which convert that in a Excel sheet. AB Find Reader.
AB Find Reader.
I will show you that. If you want, I will just share my screen. AB Find Reader, because I have worked with it uh, before 8-9 years. AB, just a moment. AB Find Reader. So I will show you this AB Find Reader. So upload the file. Suppose I upload, I don't have that PDF format file. I just see some PDF format file, but I don't have the with the data. I will see some PDF format file without data. I will take that. I will take some PDF file. I see. Suppose I choose this one.
Okay, sir.
We have to register here or login. I think they are demanding the login. I will log in with my Google account. Then see. It is asking about the serial number AB find. You could get the correct version also if you want. And, we may have some other also.
Sir, I tried this PDF to Excel, what Mr. Vijayanand suggested, but then the data are deranged. They are not, the output is not
No,
proper.
it will give what we have the licensed version or whatever. I have used this AB Find Reader. It is a good one.
I'll register and I'll try it. And I'll
Ah,
come
you
back.
tried it. You tried it.
Sure,
There
sir.
may be trial version for 15 days or whatever. You register there and it's a good tool.
And again, in connection to it, one last question. If we are going to use this our Government of India census data for any paper presentation, this analysis results, is it necessary that we should get any permission from somebody, or is it
No, it
open
is
for?
if the data is public,
Ah,
so then there is no need.
okay, okay, sir.
And they are providing us the data on the website and this all, whether it may be any format.
Oh,
So it doesn't keep mean we could use that and we could do the analysis
we
whatever.
can write it in reference, that's it.
Because we have done some work on the election vote
Okay,
data, we have
yes, yes,
find out
yes.
the duplicacy of the data, and we inform the government so many duplicate voters are there, and as per their pics and that everything. So that time they have given us intentionally, they have given us the data in the PDF format, and then we have used this AB Find Reader and converted that data in Excel sheet. So that's
Right,
you
sir.
could use
I'll
there.
definitely. Yes, sir. I'll do that. I'll
Okay.
come back.
Yes, anyone else has any query? So
Sir, tomorrow what we will do?
tomorrow is off because tomorrow I have some other sessions,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
some
Yes,
other.
sir.
So we will
On
meet on
Monday, I
Monday.
mean next.
Monday we will meet. Okay. So you do the practice with this all what I have explained you. This the filter and the select and this all gather, unite, separate, and this all thing. Okay. Have a nice weekend, everyone.
Same to you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Thanks everyone.